Become a channel member and support the content. You also get access to exclusive videos. You'll get an emote next to your name in the comments. The link for that can be found next to the subscribe button or in the description. And if you'd rather get your coins direct rather than roll the dice with FIFA points, head to u7buy.com and at checkout use the code TVM for a discount. The link can be found down below. What is going on, guys? Tim here. Welcome back to a brand new video that I may or may not have titled The Swedish Peter Crouch, because he kind of is, but isn't really. The funny thing about this, of course, you wouldn't know, I started filming a video on the normal Isak, and I was going to compare him to Crouch. He's 6'4", okay, he's shorter than Crouch, sure, but it's kind of like the closest gold card I could find to being like Crouch. Why Peter Crouch, I hear you ask? He's, I would say, one of my favourite players of all time, I guess, but I mean, he's up there. He's not like my favourite player, but he is up there. And in every FIFA, I always used to pick him up and play with him, and I really enjoyed when EA gave him that SBC or Premium SBC card. That was really good. I think Jermaine Defoe had one as well. They were fun to use together. Of course, he's not in the game anymore, so every year now I look for a similar player. And Isak was sort of, what body type does he have? Tall and lean, I think it is. High and lean, that's the one. High and lean body type. So very similar in that sense. Obviously, the base card is probably better than what Crouch's card would be. Well, it's almost certainly better than what Crouch's card would be. He's got pace for a start. He's got 82 pace on the card. Of course, now he has 89. But when they released this as a Future Stars, I thought, well, scrap that video. Let's do it on the Future Stars card instead. It's kind of like a juiced up Swedish Crouch. That's what I like about him. 88 acceleration, 90 sprint speed, 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Of course, Crouch would have been 5'5", but we'll let it slide. High attacking work rate, low defensive. And we've already talked about that high and lean body type, because he is very, very slim, but he's very tall. And of course, he does have very good finishing. 89 finishing, 91 shot power, 80 long shots, not the best, but we're not going to be hitting them from distance. I did try, I won't lie. I did try on one occasion, or two occasions, several occasions, from the corner of the area, like the top of the box, if you will, off to the left, where Crouch scored that wonder goal against Man City. There was absolutely no way I was going to be able to recreate it, because he was facing away from goal when he scored it. You can't do that in FIFA, but I tried, and unfortunately every time I took the shot it was blocked by a defender. So just know that I tried to recreate it, but yeah, not really able to do it. Played a few games in friendlies, played a couple of games in champs, just because why not, and I had fun. I wouldn't say I had fun because the card is very good, because unfortunately the card, It falls by the wayside slightly. It depends where you play him, but for me personally, he let me down a little bit, really. His positioning is okay. It's nothing fantastic. He hangs back for those little cutbacks here or there. In this game in particular, I felt like his positioning was actually quite good, but then going forward, unfortunately, it just didn't seem to materialize. Like, if he was in the right place, he couldn't do what he needed to do, and then if he could do what he needed to do, unfortunately he wasn't in the right place, so he needed to do more of it, and he just couldn't get past that many players. Doing little 1-2s with him and allowing him to sort of try and body his way through, if you will, it can work, sure. We play a little sort of triangle ball there, he gets it back in, it dinks over the defender, it's a great finish. If he does get into a position, by the way, sort of anywhere between inside the penalty area, I would say, but like 12 yards out or so, he is going to bury it. His finishing is very, very good. Nice little pass there into Ronaldo, who scores a decent goal to make it 1-1. His passing isn't particularly good on paper, 81 short passing, 85 vision, but it does the job. For a striker, it's fine. If you're going to play him anywhere else, I would question why, but also it might not be good enough then, but that's obviously something that you're going to have to deal with. I did experiment with playing with him in this position, actually, wide right, and the reason for that is because I went back to, and it was the opposite way around. It should have been Dalglish crossing in for Isak, but I sort of rewound back to FIFA 19 when I used to play and when the meta was crossing, right? So now that I look back at that, right, FIFA 19, I actually really enjoyed. The menu grinding was unbelievably good, because you could actually grind League SBCs. And the gameplay, a lot of people hated it because it was just crossing meta, finesse time shots until EA patched it. now that I look back on that, I think I preferred that than what we have now and what we had last year, maybe. But either way, that's just... maybe I'm looking back and thinking about it differently, but I actually didn't mind that meta. It wasn't football, but it was kind of fun. Anyway, I thought back to that, and I thought, well, if I push him out onto the right, I can get some crosses into the area. Good finish, that is. Could get some crosses into the area, and it tends to go to the back post, so maybe we can get some goals that way. I tried it. It didn't really work. Main reason it didn't work is because I kept giving him the ball. So obviously I can't cross to myself, so I kept crossing with him towards smaller players. You know, I've got on the other side, I've got Maradona and Dalglish. That obviously isn't going to work. Does he replicate what Crouch was all about? I mean, to be fair, yeah, in a way he kind of does. Crouch is a very leggy player, or was a very leggy player. What I mean by that is, of course, is he struggles to get the ball under control under his feet. He's got to sort his legs out first. You get that with Isak because of the height. He's no slouch where Crouch kind of was. And I've got some sort of... what's the word I'm looking for? Some license there, really, to sort of, you know, some leeway. He's not really like Crouch, but at the same time, I'm comparing him to him because he's the kind of card I would like Crouch to have as an icon. He's not going to get it because his pace is far too low. But in terms of a player you can have a little bit of fun with, that can be a challenge, and who isn't actually that bad in game. If we take out the Crouch comparison out of the equation, he's strong. He's decent in the air. I think he needs help with his jumping. That's why the Hawk is there as a recommended chem style. Maybe could do with a little bit of a pace boost as well. What the Hawk? Does the Hawk do the... Yeah, the Hawk does pace. I mean, to be fair, the Hawk is pretty good because you bump up the shot power, position, and finishing. You get an extra 5 in acceleration and sprint speed, and you get 10 jumping. I know he's 6'4", but any help is help. And if you can boost him with that jumping and make sure that he wins as many headers as possible, I don't think that could be a bad thing. You do get an extra 5 strength as well. The aggression goes up, but it's still only 67. That was where he kind of let himself down for me, really. He wasn't really aggressive enough. I feel like it could have been better if he were to sort of just get himself in there and throw himself into challenges and trying to win the ball back naturally and things. But, I mean, either way, it's a fun card to use. If you're a Real Sociedad fan or a fan of Isak in general, you're probably going to enjoy the card. If you're not and you don't really care too much about him or the team, it's still a bit of a challenge with an element of quality. Like, he can score goals if close enough. He has that 5-star weak foot, so it doesn't matter which side you hit it on. And of course, the 4-star skills are fun to use. It's not meta. It's not a card I would recommend for anyone's team necessarily for champs or rivals, but it is a fun player to use with a little bit of a challenge element to it so that you can get a little bit more satisfaction out of scoring a goal. You know, if you score a goal with this player, you're going to be coming up against teams who are like probably Joe Gomez and Rafael Varane at the back constantly. If you can score with Isak, little bit more satisfaction, shall we say. Let me know what you think of the card in the comment section down below, and if you think I should do more of this type of thing where I look for a player and compare him to another one. And that's the only reason why I used Isak, was the sort of Crouch link, if you will. But yeah, more than happy to do more of those if you can think of any. If you have enjoyed this though, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.